Good morning, good morning. I'm currently pre-coffee, so let's go take my TT for a walk and make some coffee.
Good morning, baby. Good morning. Let's go. Come on.
They're raising the street levels and the sidewalks. Not much sidewalk right now for my little baby, but it's fine. He's still got the trees.
Good boy.
It is a beautiful blue day in Saigon. The sun is shining. The sky's so good today.
He's so cute.
So my dog does this thing, and I didn't teach him, okay? But I hold the phone camera up to him, and he starts smiling and like cocking his head side to side. It's like the most adorable thing.
Let's make a coffee.
So like back when I was living in Singapore, there was this gym that reached out to me on Instagram and offered me a 3-month personal trainer for like 3 times a week. And they reached out to me because like I was posting pictures of myself in workout clothes. You know, like that's kind of how it works. Like if you want to be a food influencer, you got to post some recipes. You know, if you want to be a gym influencer, you got to post some workouts. You know what I mean? Whoa, I lived a little bit there. But yeah, so like the first time I got to this gym, it was like a boutique gym. Like the gym was really cute. It was kind of like dark and stuff. And in my first consultation, I told them like, give me the meanest one. And when I tell you there were trainers there and one guy walked out twice the size of everyone else, I was like, yeah, that one. Anyway, I asked him like, why are you so big? And he was like smiling. He was like, I'm actually really small right now. And then like showed me pictures of him like when he was still bodybuilding like last year. And I was like, all right, I guess you are kind of small right now. Anyway, yeah, so he kind of asked me what my goals were, like what areas I want to focus on, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, I don't know, I just kind of want to be strong. And then he asked me like, what is strong? And I'm like, I don't know, you tell me, you know. But yeah, like it was just so random that I now had this personal trainer for 3 times a week. And so I leaned in, like I was super consistent with it. And it was a really fun experience, honestly. But the only thing that I can't do, honestly, is the eating part. Okay, like when you are trying to build muscle, you gotta eat more to be able to build and hold on to the muscle. But yeah, like honestly, having a trainer was like low-key worse than having a controlling boyfriend, because he would text me like, did you eat enough today? And I'd be like, no. And I have to listen to him, you know, more chicken breast, more proteins. Like I ate so much chicken breast in that period. But listen, my body was sculpted. I was way more thick than now, but like, it was fun, but like, I can't do that long term. It was just too much. I have a friend that's like a serious gym girly, and last year I went to her wedding, okay? Before the ceremony, we were planning like this little breakfast thing. And when I got there, like it was early in the morning, I was still looking for coffee. And the bride herself walks in to the villa, like just finishing a 2-hour gym session, you know, like different flavors. And like, yeah, like when I'm hanging out with her, like she's just kind of sitting there with like a bag of salad, just eating. Like she's constantly eating, because you kind of have to do that if you're like a small framed girl and you're trying to, you know, build up that muscle for yourself. I can't. The sessions themselves were pretty chill. You know, I would just ask this dude like philosophical questions while he like yelled at me a countdown for the sets. It worked out pretty well. I'm like almost out.
Here you go, boy. Good boy.
I remember like a couple weeks into training, I was making pasta, and you know, like the pasta water pot thing, I lifted it up and I was like, wait, that was way easier. Like, wait. And so I just kept working out even after being trained. And quite honestly, like they reached out to me because I was posting a lot of workout gear, and I was taking a lot of spin classes. And that's because like I went to my first spin class, like my first workout class after a while in Singapore, and I puked after. And I remember standing there in the corner after I puked, like really like annoyed at myself. And so I just kept going all the time. Yeah, but like that got me a trainer, you know? I'm going to be making some pork chops and some caramelized onions and pepper for lunch. We have the meat defrosting here. But yeah, like the gym that I went to had just opened, and so there were other influencers as well that got the same deal that I did, but they weren't as consistent, whereas like I was there 3 times a week, you know. And so eventually, like, I was kind of like one of the boys. Like, I don't really get intimidated in a group of men. Like, once you make it clear to them that like there is no path forward, they're pretty chill, yeah. And I do think that gym culture is actually like really sweet. Like, all of them are giving each other like little tips, checking in on each other, like helping with forms. Like, oh, there's a lot of respect for like the machines, you know, like once you're done with the machine, then I'll use it. Like, everyone's very respectful, and you kind of don't get to see that unless you spend a longer time period in the gym. But yeah, I always kind of find it funny when guys assume that like I don't work out. I mean, like, I got abs, you know, but yeah, they always try to train me, like whether it be in like calisthenics or basketball or like whatever random sport they want to do. And like, if you want to train me, then I'm gonna take you to spin class, you know, you do it, I do it too. That's just what's fair. Like, there was one guy that was training me, and I looked at him and I was like, isn't this just Pilates? You should have seen his face. But like, quite honestly, I do think that the more you stay active, the longer you will be able to stay active. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like, if you start yoga now, you will be able to do it yoga later. But if you start yoga later, it's gonna be harder to start the yoga. You get what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. These are my random thoughts for the day. It's still the long weekend, and quite a few of my friends are out of town because like holidays. I do think that one is coming back today. I'll text her. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video and like my random thoughts. And yeah, I'll see you next time.